Hello! How are you all doing? Welcome to Hero Villains, the place where we explore the darker side of superheroes in comic books. Today we're delving into the immortal beings and villains, Doomsday and Lobo, as we explore one of the greatest threats in the universe. Doomsday is an unstoppable giant with a unique physiology. Every time he's killed, he resurrects, becoming immune to whatever had previously killed him. Created artificially in the distant past on the planet Krypton, long before the Kryptonians ruled it, Doomsday was the result of the ambitious alien scientist Bertron's efforts to create the ultimate life form. In those violent times, Krypton was a hellish place where only the strongest beings could survive. Bertron and his team would send a child to the planet's surface, where it would be immediately killed by the harsh environment or fierce creatures. With each resurrection, Doomsday grew stronger and more terrifying, eventually becoming the embodiment of unstoppable destruction. But before we dive into our analysis, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, it helps us a lot. Thank you very much. Also, be sure to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Each time the life form survived the experiment, it was harvested and used again to create a newer, stronger version. This mad scientist used cloning to accelerate evolution, forcing the developing creature to endure thousands of horrific deaths. The pain from these countless deaths was etched into Doomsday's very genes, transforming him into a creature that hates all life. Eventually, he no longer needed Bertron's technology and could evolve to counter whatever had previously killed him. With his ever-growing power, Doomsday began to hunt and eliminate all dangerous creatures on Krypton. When he confronted Bertron, the one responsible for his painful deaths, Doomsday didn't hesitate to destroy the ship and kill his creator. His immense strength allowed him to withstand the blows of Superman, Wonder Woman, and other heroes, rendering all attempts to stop him futile. Doomsday escaped from Krypton and began a bloody rampage across numerous planets. He landed on Bylon 5, where Darkseid was preparing to marry a princess to seize chemical deposits for Apocalypse War Machine. As the battle between Doomsday and Darkseid was about to erupt, Darkseid was forced to retreat because the fight had made Bylon 5's atmosphere toxic, rendering the planet useless to him. But Doomsday didn't stop there. He secretly hitched a ride on a shuttle leaving the planet and eventually landed on Kundia. There, the warlike clans of Kundian joined forces to craft a protective suit for the brave warrior Kobold, with the sole aim of surviving long enough to launch Doomsday onto a missile. However, as soon as the missile reached space, Doomsday killed Kobold, and the explosion sent him hurtling into the void of space. He became an unrelenting threat, spreading destruction across planets and sowing terror without bounds. Later, Doomsday encountered a Green Lantern named Zaran Pel. He took the power ring and felt the immense energy from the Guardians of the Universe, deciding to pursue them with an unstoppable will. Hundreds of brave Green Lanterns were sent to stop him, but one by one, they met painful deaths in fierce battles. Relentless, Doomsday continued his journey to OAA, the center of the Guardians' power. There, a courageous Guardian sacrificed himself in a dramatic battle, finally defeating Doomsday in an intense and epic fight. With Doomsday's demise, the Guardians were forced to turn their attention to rebuilding the core, struggling to recover from this devastating disaster. Meanwhile, in another corner of the universe, Lobo, ruthless and cold-blooded bounty hunter, the last of his kind, had exterminated his entire race for his own cruel gain. Lobo possesses superhuman strength, rivaling the most powerful beings in the DC universe. He has faced off against Superman, Hal Jordan, Shazam, and many other heroes, and now, with his increased ferocity, he could easily defeat Aquaman, though it remains a challenging and relentless endeavor. Lobo's appearance not only brings terror but also the release of immense energy. In fact, the energy unleashed by the Guardian's sacrifice created a tear in space, severely injuring Doomsday and leaving him unconscious as he fell to the distant planet Krypton. For 3 years, he ravaged this planet mercilessly, tearing through everything in his path and leaving destruction everywhere. Eventually, only the capital city remained, where the royal members combined their life forces to create a single energy entity known as the Radiant. With unparalleled power, the Radiant unleashed a massive energy explosion, killing Doomsday and destroying more than a fifth of the world. Following Cataclysmic burial rituals, Doomsday's body was chained and muzzled, and because he was a brutal murderer, he was exiled into space. However, Doomsday wasn't truly dead, he was merely halted. When killed, he always resurrects with the ability to evolve beyond whatever had once defeated him. Eventually, Doomsday landed on Earth, and the impact of his crash buried his coffin deep underground. But this was just the calm before the storm, as Doomsday would never cease to return. In his first confrontation with the Justice League, upon escaping the underworld, Doomsday overwhelmed the entire team of superheroes within minutes, quickly attracting Superman's attention. Astonishingly, Doomsday fought with only one hand tied behind his back, yet he easily devastated all resistance and wreaked havoc across the surrounding area. Among the Justice League members, only Maxima could stand firm against his overwhelming power. It was at that moment that the name Doomsday emerged when Justice League member Booster Gold likened his fury and unimaginable strength to the coming of Doomsday. This name quickly spread through the media and became the official moniker for this destructive creature. Both Doomsday and Lobo have destroyed powerful enemies, with Lobo having faced and handled Superman, Green Lantern, and even Marshal Mina. Meanwhile, Doomsday actually killed Clark Kent and defeated a clone of Darkseid. The battle between Lobo and Doomsday became an intense, direct confrontation, with Doomsday's powerful punches striking fear in everyone. In a fit of mad rage, Doomsday was drawn to the violent wrestling matches in Metropolis, which triggered his bloodthirsty instincts and lured this mindless creature straight to the city. Superman immediately countered, but soon realized that Doomsday's strength was equal to his own. He understood that if Doomsday actually reached Metropolis, the battle could destroy the entire city and kill millions of innocent people. At the same time, Doomsday developed an intense desire to kill Superman. This desire likely stemmed from the immense pain he endured during his creation. Doomsday had evolved the ability to sense anyone with Kryptonian blood and instinctively viewed them as a threat to be eliminated. However, this doesn't explain why Doomsday didn't react similarly to Cyborg Superman, who clearly had Kryptonian DNA. The battle between Doomsday and Superman was dramatic, with their strength and speed almost equal. At the same time, Lobo joined the fray, with his superior combat skills and cunning, giving him a certain advantage. While Doomsday is a brutal monster driven purely by instinct and raw savagery, their confrontation remained a terrifying battle, putting both Metropolis and the fate of many at extreme risk. Doomsday and Superman clashed in a brutal fight, making Superman realize that this creature would never stop attacking, never surrender, and would continue to destroy everything in its path. Despite being severely wounded and exhausted, Superman did not back down. Determined to face Doomsday to the very end, the battle reached its climax as both opponents simultaneously delivered their final, devastating blows, leaving both Superman and Doomsday unconscious, collapsing in front of the Daily Planet building in Metropolis. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and you'll also get to watch amazing videos every day. You're the best. Thank you so much. It seemed as if life had left them, leaving a terrifying mark on history. Superman believed he had defeated Doomsday once and for all, but deep down, there was a lingering fear that this monster might return. Meanwhile, Lobo, with his ruthlessness and cunning, emerged victorious in his own battle, wielding dangerous and deadly weapons. After Superman's apparent death, 4 new Supermen emerged, 2 of whom claimed to be the real Superman. Among them was a half-human, half-machine resembling Superman, who later became the dangerous villain, the Cyborg. The Cyborg captured what appeared to be Doomsday's lifeless body. To prevent the creature's return, Cyborg chained Doomsday to an asteroid and launched him into deep space on a trajectory that he believed would never intersect with any other planet. But even in the vastness of space, could Doomsday truly be defeated? Eventually, after passing through a wormhole, the asteroid containing Doomsday was accidentally discovered by a deep space salvage ship. The crew, seeing the strange rock, decided to retrieve it, hoping to find something valuable inside. Little did they know that their fate was threatened by a terrifying force. The ship was on its way to Apocalypse, and once Doomsday fully recovered, he quickly slaughtered the entire crew, then descended upon the harsh planet. This was the prelude to the final battle between Doomsday and Superman, who had also been resurrected during this time and was constantly worried about Doomsday's dangerous return. With the help of the JLA contacts, Superman obtained the Mother Box, a sentient computer, after receiving a report from Darkseid, Darkseid's servant, about an urgent matter on Apocalypse. However, Superman was unaware that Doomsday had not only confronted but also defeated Darkseid in a fierce hand-to-hand battle, even surviving Darkseid's legendary Omega Beam. Doomsday had spread destruction across the planet, plunging everything into chaos and horror. Unfortunately, before Superman could arrive in time to confront this threat, Darkseid opened a boom tube to transport Doomsday to Krypton, making the danger of destruction even more severe. This was the first world where Doomsday was ever defeated, where he had once fallen at the hands of the Radiant. However, Doomsday's nature allowed him to adapt and grow stronger after each defeat, making it impossible to defeat him again. The Radiant could not destroy him twice, and Superman had to face this painful truth. Even though Superman knew he couldn't kill Doomsday more than once, he was still haunted by the thought of stopping this destructive creature at all costs. He pursued Doomsday to Krypton and fought him again, this time with the help of Mother Box, which provided him with powerful weapons such as a sonic gun and an energy sword. But even with these advanced weapons, Superman failed against Doomsday's overwhelming strength. Ultimately, he had to use one of Waverator's time travel devices to send Doomsday to the end of time, where the creature would face an unbeatable force entropy, the end of everything. However, Lobo, a fierce survivor and Doomsday's arch-nemesis, also had to confront a harsh reality. Doomsday could not be killed or completely defeated. This placed Lobo in a difficult position because, despite his unmatched strength, permanently eliminating Doomsday seemed like an impossible task. Doomsday's skeleton was later recovered by Lex Luthor, and his flesh was regenerated using Superman's Kryptonian DNA. With the help of Darkseid, Luthor restored and enhanced Doomsday as part of an agreement to repay Earth's war debt to Apocalypse. By this time, Doomsday had developed intelligence and self-awareness. To demonstrate that he was back in action, Luthor planned for Joker to release Doomsday in Washington, D.C., on the anniversary of Superman's death while stopping Doomsday earlier. Although weakened by Kryptonite, Luthor attempted to exploit Doomsday's Kryptonian origins. Superman, with his heart revived by Black Lightning, arrived just as Doomsday was facing off with Martian Manhunter. Thanks to the information provided by Jay-On, Superman learned that Doomsday craved revenge against Luthor, blaming him for his death during the Imperiex War. Superman utilized his newly discovered intelligence and abilities to counter Doomsday. While continuing to endure every attack Doomsday unleashed, Superman explained how he could defeat the creature and stop him for good. Superman demonstrated that even in the darkest moments, in the New 52, a reboot of the DC Comics universe, Doomsday officially appeared in September 2013 as part of the Villains Month event. In Batman Superman 3.1, Doomsday had attacked Krypton many years earlier when Lara was still a lieutenant at the prestigious military academy. Colonel Zod, clad in ancient Kryptonian warrior armor, confronted Doomsday. Their fierce battle resulted in the deaths of thousands of Kryptonian citizens. Although Zod seemingly triumphed and sent Doomsday to the Phantom Zone, the conflict was far from over. Many years later, when General Zod was also imprisoned in the Phantom Zone, he shared with the young Kara Zor-El that he admired Doomsday for his destructive power, which Zod believed was necessary to strengthen the Kryptonian race after years of complacency. Zod recounted a prophecy mentioning a final knight of the House of El who would travel to a distant planet after Krypton's fall. Doomsday would hunt down and battle this knight, sacrificing himself to save his people. Doomsday mysteriously appeared in the North Atlantic, delivering a powerful blow to Wonder Woman that broke her arm before vanishing into thin air. After recounting the event to Superman, the two went together to the Fortress of Solitude, where Diana discovered Doomsday through the Phantom Zone tracker. Superman feared that the walls of the Phantom Zone were breaking down, allowing Doomsday to escape temporarily. Months later, the creature once again escaped the Phantom Zone, now in an even more terrifying form. It caused catastrophic destruction worldwide, killing every living thing around it and obliterating physical structures. Superman, Wonder Woman, Steel, and the Justice League had to fight fiercely to defeat it, even enlisting the help of Lex Luthor. Finally, Superman dragged Doomsday's body to the planet Venus and incinerated it. Believing Doomsday to be dead, Superman returned to Earth, only to be horrified when the creature teleported back. Superman destroyed Doomsday, slicing the monstrous creature in half. As Doomsday's body turned to dust, Superman inhaled its ash like remnants, trapping them within his indestructible body. But only moments later, he began to change his mind, became alarmingly tense and aggressive, and gradually, his appearance started to transform, taking on the features of Doomsday. The real disaster unfolded when it was discovered that Doomsday had been freed by the Phantom King Zadu as part of a plot by Brainiac. The entire scheme was orchestrated to eliminate Superman as he prepared to assimilate the consciousness of all humanity. However, with sheer willpower, Superman managed to contain Doomsday's immense strength and rage long enough to strike and destroy Brainiac's massive mothership, dragging it into a black hole, thus freeing himself from Doomsday's infection. Doomsday was originally created through a cloning process. After the events of Flashpoint and Convergence, he reappeared on Prime Earth, where he threatened both Superman and Lex Luthor, the protectors of Metropolis. Incredibly, Doomsday's intelligence had evolved, and he could strategize to confront his enemies. After being killed by the Radiant in their first battle, Doomsday developed immunity to the Radiant's energy projection and even became strong enough to withstand Darkseid's full Omega effect. The extent of the damage Doomsday suffers determines his complete recovery time. With his incredibly rapid healing ability, Doomsday can recover almost immediately from most injuries. When Superman slashed his side with a plasma sword, the wound healed within minutes. Thanks to his unique body structure, Doomsday doesn't need to eat, drink, breathe, or sleep, and his body is nearly a solid mass without internal organs. Doomsday possesses an astonishingly immense superhuman strength, and although this power can vary, it is sufficient to take on the entire Justice League, including Superman and Orion. He can effortlessly break Superman's left arm, and even defeat and knock Darkseid unconscious in battle. Doomsday's strength also has limits. The extremely strong Cataclysmic alloy cables partially restrained him during his first rampage on Earth, and were only completely destroyed when the Justice League launched an all-out assault to try to stop him. He had to struggle for a long time to free his left hand before escaping. Who will win this time? Thank you for watching. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.